It is fantastic. Obas does an amazing Twilight Sparkle.
With there was Scribbler and.
Yeah. That reading was absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna link it in the thread after this stream is over because everyone deserves to hear that. By the way, we are now live, so say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You're not my real mom. No.
Welcome to the stream, one and all. We are -1 ferret, but we have gained 1 dancer. So, about equals. Chat is apparently, I don't know. Oh, maybe you're on the new Hangouts, because I know new Hangouts doesn't. Oh, chat is apparently disabled on the YouTube. That's what it is. The YouTube chat is always dead because stupid reasons.
Yeah. Tom hasn't figured out how to work it. That's why.
I've been looking through all the
YouTube.
That
is a stupid reason.
Yeah, it really is. I am the reason, and I am fucking dumb. So you know, good as ever. Right, Seattle's Angels. I don't know which round this podcast is because I really can't be asked keeping.
I think.
No, it's 3. I know it was 3 because I had to put triple I at the end. So 73 then. We should probably start off by talking about the previous round of reviews, which we've actually got someone from, but it is me. So we might as well not have had someone from. For all I can remember. Yeah, RT Stevens. Why isn't he in the stream? You should join us.
He thought about it. He might join us later.
Yeah, I'll ping him because
Ping.
Right. Okay. So previous round of reviews. Let's just go through them quickly. Magic on the Rocks by Violet CLM. It's the story of the Pie family sometime during, is it season 3, season 4? It was season 4 was when Trixie came back with the amulet, right?
Yeah.
That was season 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
No,
yeah.
That was
Middle
season
of
3.
season 3.
That was season 3.
All right. Well,
Seattle's Angels. We watched the show sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, ish.
She wasn't. Wait, Twilight wasn't an alicorn in that episode?
I don't think she was. No.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, because she had the green amulet, and Trixie was as powerful as an amulet.
Oh,
I've had the
man.
ring.
Yeah, the doorstop amulet.
Yeah, the
I
fake
remember being an alicorn in that episode. That's freaking me out now.
Today's the day we discovered Arch has been hallucinating since, what, 2014?
Well, all my blood did fall out, so it's possible.
It's true. You didn't have a lot of blood at that point, so, you know. But yeah, Magic on the Rocks. It's all about the Pie sisters and their family during that sort of period before Trixie turns up. Trixie does turn up in this story, and it's all sort of... It's a different side to all the characters, but it's nicely done in such a way that it's a believable side. It kind of sets up for the characters that we see both when Trixie comes back with the Alicorn amulet and when the Pie sisters eventually turn up in season 5. It's a cutesy shipping story, so naturally I hate it, but the rest of it was good enough to make up for it. So, yeah, pretty solid first story. The second one, Dr. Caballeron's Daring to Change. I fucking love Dr. Caballeron's name. I ranted about this in the post, but I just want to rant about it here a bit. It is the fucking most clever horse pun I have ever seen, because it's a pun on the fact that he's a gentleman, and it's a pun on the fact that he's actually a horseman. It's beautiful. It's anyway. It's very much. It very much holds an air of Indiana Jones-ish about it, which is to be expected, considering, you know, daring do. But it's a very nice take on Caballeron's character, and a very nice idea for the backstory between him and Daring, because I don't think they actually have any, like, canon backstory between them, other than they know each other. Am I right in saying that?
And then, you know, it's like, oh, you again, kind of rivalry, but it was generic.
Yeah, it was a
They
framework.
did actually have about as much backstory as Belloc did in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He just turned up and was French and got drunk a bit and then died.
Yeah, rip.
That sounds like a Frenchman.
Yeah. Sounds like France, yeah. Pretty much. It's a pretty short character piece building on the relationship, which apparently doesn't actually exist in canon, but is pretty interesting to read about in here. And also, I found some amazing Daring Do art on Derpiburu, so I had to share. Like, it's fucking great. Third story, Grogar's hearth-warming horror story.
I love this story.
Yeah, Present Perfect loved it as well, I believe. I explained it in my review as basically being, oh god, what's his name? Krampus, the Central/Eastern European counterpart to Saint Nicholas, one of the precursors to Santa, who basically goes around, beats naughty children, and if they're sufficiently naughty, kidnaps them and takes them to hell, where they suffer for eternity.
Wasn't there a movie about Krampus that came out recently?
There was a movie about Krampus that came out.
It looked awful. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it looked awful indeed. But it's very much based upon the same Germanic-ish religion. Belief.
Well, it came from religion.
Yeah, it came sort of ish. Well, yeah, he's a counterpart to a saint, so I suppose he technically is a religious figure, maybe. So yeah, it's very much a traditional Grimm fairy tale style villain in this narrative. And the only criticism I could come up with this thing was that there's a Sweetie Belle / Button Mash shipping subplot, which I absolutely cannot stand. But
Absolutely
I
heretical.
see you there, Pav. I see you there. Absolutely disgusting. All that sort of, it's taram. But yeah, it was a small enough subplot that you could ignore it to just get on with the rest of the story. And the rest of the story was.
When I got to it, I thought for sure that because they went with the shipping angle that they were going to follow the rules of horror movies and that, you can't hook up otherwise you die. One of them's going to kick the bucket, definitely. And then I was like, yes, it's going to happen. There's no
Button Mash will die tonight. Yes.
Well, that's actually kind of story.
True. Yeah, that's the one fix. Like, it's just an epilogue where just Button Mash gets crushed by a building. Like, yeah, okay, perfect story, 10 out of 10. So yeah, it's an interesting mix of the original Grimm fairy tale sort of thing and Grogar from season 1, who was basically a big goat who was kind of had undead hordes but didn't really do much. He just sort of turned up and then got thrown out pretty quickly. So, no big deal with him. Last story by Purple Prose, a guy we've seen about occasionally. We bumped into him once or twice. Solace by Purple Prose is a fantastic sort of early Celestia/Luna world-building story, which I am a massive sucker for. I absolutely adore anything that kind of sets up to Luna's fall and the birth of the nightmare sort of thing, which is, if someone hasn't coined that term already, that's a fucking brilliant term, the birth of the nightmare. Right, sorry, sidetrack there. So yeah, it's set around Celestia and Luna embarking upon this quest to battle with the Eater of Stars. And full disclosure, the battle scene is practically non-existent in that the story is about 80% build up to the battle, a few words on the battle, and then the rest of it is the aftermath and dealing with what's happened in the battle. So if you're expecting an action story against a sort of an epic star dragon sort of thing, you are going to be disappointed, unfortunately, which, I can understand. But the focus of the story is about the setting up of events to come and the characterization of Celestia and Luna, both of which are absolutely top-notch. So I don't hesitate in recommending it, even if it doesn't have awesome dragon battles, which, let's face it, every story could do with more awesome dragon battles. Even for absolutely anything, especially ones that involve Button Mash. There, and those were the 4 reviews for this last round. So with that out of the way, we can finally get to Midnight Dancer. We have been ignoring you so far. Tell us how you are.
As is the tradition.
As is tradition. Tell us how you are and who you are, please.
I'm a writer on FinFic, and I write things that people like sometimes, I guess. And then I'm in Pennsylvania near Philadelphia, so I'm currently under several feet of snow.
Yeah, Skeeter's been sending us photos of the snow line slowly crawling up outside his window.
Yeah, it's been a day. So I have my fireplace and my coffee and my hoodie, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that
staying
so far
inside. I'm like, screw it, I'm not going outside.
I only have about a foot of snow here, and I'm like, yeah, no, not going out.
Only a foot of snow. Yeah.
I had my 6 inches of snow last week. Now
You had your 6 inches last week, Rouse. Okay.
Yes, I know.
Obligatory.
I mean, it's cute that you had 6 inches, but I mean, I had a foot. Mitty and Skeeter have had multiple feet, so I mean.
Oh, if you're digging yourself a bigger hole.
God damn it.
Yes, I am.
Literally the worst. Right.
Yeah. There goes the PG-13 rating again.
And you told me to try to keep it clean. You told me. You gave me the warning. That's not my fault.
As if that's realistic. Come on.
It was always going to be a losing battle. Like.
Pause here. You can't honestly expect us to keep that PG-13 rating.
It's true. It's true. So before we go on and talk about Dancer's stories, just a quick reminder to everyone who is watching this, we are taking questions both in the Seattle Angels the public chat and in the thread, and probably in Dancer's blog, but we probably won't notice them there, so, you know, do them somewhere else. I'm currently being shouted at on Skype for saying this chat is literally the worst by someone else who I've called literally the worst multiple times, and they're getting jealous.
We need to basically have a double elimination tournament, where you know
who is the worst.
Yeah. So you'll eliminate people, and as they progressively eliminated, you know, you have the loser bracket.
Here's the thing, though: if you were the first person to lose at being the worst, wouldn't that make you the worst at being the worst?
Yeah, I mean, if you quote unquote win the worst competition, that means you are the least worst.
So it's a battle to see who is the last winner, and therefore the loser, so therefore the winner.
It's like having a bike race to see who comes in last place, kind of like that.
Do you guys have a version of a show called The Biggest Loser at all?
Oh, we've seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen The Biggest Loser. So it's basically that. We are all the biggest losers, but not in that way.
I was on that. The Biggest Loser.
You lost at least 12 inches of hair. This is true.
Yeah.
And you've kept it in a bag, so whatever. Right, Dancer, talk to us about stories. Raz recently learned, as in like 10 minutes ago recently learned, that you were the author of Paper Tigers. So why not have a talk about that? What was the sort of inspiration behind that whole shebang?
The saying paper tigers, like, I mean, Pom, you know probably better than anybody that I get inspiration from really weird places that don't make any sense, and I was just like, I was looking like, because I wrote Paper Tigers when I was living with my ex-boyfriend, and I just ran across like the whole concept of a paper tiger, and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool, and then I thought about it, and I don't know, I just kind of vomited out 3,000 words of it.
So
that's my writing process. I literally sit down and like everything and anything that you read from me on the site, that's the first draft.
I was going to say you're talking about getting inspiration from the weirdest of places, and I was about to ask about Princess Luna uses Adult Friend Finder, that story that you have. Why not explain the inspiration behind that story? Because that's a tale and a half.
I'm a woman that uses dating sites. The end. That's the whole inspiration. Like a lot of what she goes through is
based on a
those
true
are
story.
messages I get. Those are like messages I get. Like I get messages like that. I don't go on the dates because you know I'm not a powerful magic user, but like if I did, that's kind of how I see it now.
Dancer has shared some of the some screen caps of some of the messages she's received on sites like OkCupid.
so bad.
Yeah, they are entertaining if you look at them in a certain light. Interesting is another way to put them.
I actually, my friend and I made a joke account on BronyMate, that brony-themed dating website, but we were hoping to get funny messages out of it, but you have to it's one of those sites where you have to pay to see the messages.
So stupid.
Yeah, so we I'd have to pay to get the humor out of it, which.
You mean it was a scam? Who would
You
have
have,
thought?
you have to pay to use the website.
No, no. Here's the thing: you don't have to pay to use the website. You have to pay to do things on the website. So you can sign up for free and look at all the pretty graphics. But if you want to look at someone's profile or send them a message, cough up, money please. So yeah, BronyMate, a scandal. Who knew?
It's probably still heavily in use.
I still get emails. It's like you've got all these unread messages. Log in to check log in and pay us to check your messages. And, so, I don't know how many I have because I can't check. But
I have some. So either there are some very, very expensive bots, or some very, very determined people. They're desperately trying to reach you, Pav. They're paying so much money.
I know.
I know.
And
that's surprising because you don't really
connected
need
on that
to pay any
emotional
money.
level. Yeah, I'm being a cheapskate here, so that makes me unattractive.
This is accurate, 100%. Right. Right. So let's talk about some other stories. How's about your latest big success story being Blanket? Not the latest one you wrote, but it recently hit the Royal Canterlot Library.
Yeah, the thing's 2 years old.
Yeah.
When I got the message from President Perfect that he was gonna do the thing, I was like, I wrote that literally 2 years ago. I thought when he commented on it, I thought he was just gonna do one of his little those review roundup posts that he does. I thought it was just gonna be one of those, and then he's like, oh no, I'm putting this in the Royal Canterlot Library. I was like, oh.
Oh, really?
Okay. I'm not good with the attentions, all right?
At least 2 years ago. Really? I swear I only read it a few months ago and it was new. Man.
Yeah, that's time for you.
Published February 2014, so yeah, 2 years minus about a week and a bit.
Wow.
I wrote that a very long time ago. I was going
Good story,
really
though.
rough time.
Yeah, definitely a good story. CV confirmed old, so now you know. I am literally, I think, 3 weeks away from my 4-year anniversary on FimFiction. What the fuck have I done with my life? What is my life at this point? I don't know.
Well, but I mean, it hasn't been a complete waste. Look at all of the wonderful stories that you've written.
Alright, stream over. We're done here. That's about all we can do right now.
We call it a bird ward.
Oh dear. Just casual reminder that I am the one who approves stories, Pav. Oh wait, no, that would require for you to write as well. Never mind. How's my little chrono trigger going?
It's doing very well, thank you. It's getting comments today asking if it's dead. So it's doing fantastically.
There were comments on a story that I edited about 3 years ago at this point. That they keep on popping up like once every couple of weeks because it was a reasonably popular story at the time. And one of them was asking if I could put the story onto hiatus and then continue it myself. I was just like, no, I don't believe it or not, I can't do that. Sorry. The guy's been offline for 62 weeks. It's a bit beyond my power to contact him at this point. So.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So what was the idea behind Blanket? So you were talking about getting inspiration from the weirdest of places. So.
Well, that was more of a very straightforward place. That was just, basically a failing relationship, failing marriage. But why was it failing? It's never. It's like movies and TV. They say, oh well, this big thing happened, and all the trust is gone, everybody hates each other. It's the little things. It's those little tiny things that build up over time. Like okay, yeah, I could take, like, if I was in a relationship with somebody, I could take a comment about, like, what I'm eating once or twice. But when it becomes, like, a daily thing mixed with, like, other things, like, in this instance, if Carrot Cake was having, like, less desire for her, maybe she was feeling pretty, and then it causes a whole communication breakdown. So,
yeah, that's the thing. It's less the one big step and more the, like, waves washing away a rock sort of thing.
Basically, it's an erosion. It's not a landslide.
Pretty much, yeah.
And when the erosion's over years, it just hurts so much worse because you've invested so much, but you spend so much time, like, eventually just hiding things and not being honest with each other. And once you start down that path, you can't stop. There's no going back.
True enough. This story also written 2.5 years ago. Paper Tigers, that one's a bit old as well. And one couple below it, Iron Princess Competition. Now that was a story and a half.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I vomited that out in like 4 hours. That was
Only the best writing is done in 4 hours.
Me.
Can attest. Definitely can attest.
Oh dear. So what would you say is the one you are most proud of then, Dancer?
Of all my stories? Of my finished story, I'd say I Need You to Be Brave.
Sure, that's one of the only ones of yours I've actually read.
I honestly think that's my best story. Like, I don't think Paper Tigers is all that great, but a lot of people do.
So what did you like about? What did you like about that story then, Arch? Come on, let's hear it. We've not got Ferret here to gush about things, so we need you to step in.
I'm not good at gushing. All right. Oh, what's the best way to put this? I like the way that the sort of the way that once Spike started talking about all the mundane little things, he couldn't stop himself. And that's the kind of thing that it really resonates with a lot, because sometimes you start talking about something and it just grabs you and you don't want to stop talking about it, and you get this perverse pleasure in making people listen to you talk about it when they're being so wrong about everything. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. It does, and that's pretty much what Spike was doing. He was just upset that nobody remembered Twilight Sparkle the pony. They only remembered Twilight Sparkle, and here's a list of things that she did.
Yeah.
So, and then, Discord coming in was basically just sort of the balance to that, because, at that point in the story, Twilight Sparkle was no longer alive. Nobody had a way to know her the way that Spike did, or Discord did, or the princess did. So it's just sort of an explanation, because, again, I was going through a really rough time at the time, and thankfully I got past that. I wasn't supposed to, but I did, and yeah, it was just, I don't know, I was just feeling really down and really sad, because I wrote that story for Regular.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's basically like, I consider him like a son, and so I think a lot came out that otherwise wouldn't be there. So.
That's fair enough.
That's my favorite, and my best unfinished. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you can finish what you were saying first. I'll ask it later.
No, I was just gonna say my favorite unfinished work so far is Loyalty.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody's put off by the 13,000 word first chapter. Nobody has read it. But go on. What was that?
It's just the first fic of yours that I read. I actually picked up probably a day or two after I joined the site, and I've been waiting for an update pretty much ever since.
Which book?
Of Deadlines and Doppelgangers.
It needs to be cleaned up. And the last chapter
just grabbed me because I'd only just watched the Miracle episode with Pinky, and seeing Rarity go and do the same thing, and her clone having its own existential crisis sort of thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fascinating concept for a story, like, because obviously all the Pinky clones just sort of eventually got more and more mindless the more and more clones came. They were just all about fun. But Rarity having a clone, they both want to be awesome designers, and they both want to be unique individuals and get themselves out there. And so when you have a clone that refuses or hates the fact that it's based off someone else, someone like Rarity, it is going to be very emotionally damaging for her. So what did they ended up changing her name to Scarlet something?
Scarlet, yeah.
Yeah, Scarlet. And so Rarity's trying to help her find her own identity while at the same time being her assistant. And at the same time try not to let anyone know what's happened. So, yeah, I just personally really wish you'd continue that one when you.
I am. I'm still putting it together, like the way to sort of tie up all the ends that I have in that story. Because I wasn't sure for a little while what I was going to do with Scarlet. Because there were a couple of possible, terminations to the possible. There's just a certain amount of possibilities. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. And I was trying to decide which one to go with, and I did finally decide which one I'm going with. So I just have to clean up the other chapters, get the formatting correct, because I'm using a different formatting now than I did then, and I really think things don't match. I'm going to clean that up and then put up chapter 5, which is either going to be the last chapter or the second to last chapter. It could turn into an adventure story, who knows, because it's really just all kind of on the fly with me.
It'll turn into an adventure story when you add more dragon battles and also button mash.
Yeah. I mean, spikes and arrows, and why not?
Like the other.
So I'd like to just put it out there that I'm totally open for helping me clean it up if you feel like,
We do have a very potent resource. One of the most potent resources in an author's tool belt is in fact a ferret, who is everyone will agree is fantastic at getting you to do the shit you need to do.
So, yeah, Ferret actually she pre-read the first couple chapters of Loyalty for me, and she was on point with that. So I don't have editors, but I have pre-readers that just kind of look over my stuff and tell me if it's good or not. So she brought up some valid points, and we had a discussion about the first couple chapters. But it was fun. She's good people. I love her.
Yeah, Ferret's good.
I love you, Ferret, even if you're not here.
Even if she's dead.
Did we figure out a while ago that Ferret had the most followers that had more followers than her?
Oh, you guys all added that stuff up, and I wasn't sure what we were doing. So
yeah. Bad Horse started that thing where you were supposed to calculate the value almost of the followers, like how many followers they had, and Ferret had, I think, the highest, and I had something like the third highest? Question mark?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. The basic answer to it is don't ever write a story and just get followed by people with lots of followers for writing reviews or something like that. So, I don't know. The lesson learned, to get mega popular within a certain group of people, don't write. This has been your public service announcement for the day.
Mm-hmm. You know, some experience.
Weird postmodern deconstruction meta rubbish going on there now.
Oh yeah, this is basically like the new art for fan like modern art fic fight.
If I stopped disappearing for a year, the time I'd actually be talking. But I disappeared for a year, and then I just kind of turned up a burning account, and everyone was like,
"Oh hi, you're not dead, huh? I guess you weren't claimed by the blizzard."
Yeah, right.
It was just, you got snowed in, and like 3 feet now, it's there. Just climb through that. That'll be fine.
It's bad out there. I'm just ignoring it. That's future Dancer's problem. Future Dancer's problem. I'm not touching it. No, I have to dig out my car. I'm not doing it. No.
Oh Christ! I didn't even think about that. The most snow I've ever had is probably about 6 inches or something like that. I never even thought
shut the whole town down.
Yeah, everything shuts down in England when we have more than 2 inches of snow.
They do that in the South here. One of my friends is in Tennessee, and my call center actually services. I work from home for an IT company, and my call center services the deep South, and some people from Tennessee were calling in, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're not at work, so we need you to forward our calls." And it's no problem. But then I'm like, "Oh. There's something going on in Tennessee," and they were like, "Yeah, we got a couple inches of snow and there's an ice storm." I was like, "Oh," and just sort of fighting back the whole.
Just send them a photo, yeah.
I've for a very brief period of time I lived in Texas, and we had not even like a half inch, just like a faint
dusting, everything
powdering,
down.
and they have like no snow trucks or no snow equipment in the area, so they have like faint dusting, and they had to shut down everything. It was hilarious.
I used to live in Amarillo, and that is exactly what would happen.
Yeah, it's like over here, we can't deal with snow or ice in the slightest. Like, we tried to deal with ice, we have salters and everything, but we just can't. But any amount of rain, like, it can rain for like 2 weeks straight, and fuck it. Business as normal. Just go about your business, people. So.
Enjoy your flooding.
Dude, oh my god. Did I tell you about the flooding that was going on here, Dancer?
No, but I can tell you that New Jersey is currently flooding.
I can tell you that a bridge roughly a mile from me has collapsed due to the flooding. The flooding's not as bad anymore, but there's like footage around the internet of this old stone bridge just sort of collapsing into a river. It's actually pretty cool. But it's like, my road to work was under about 7 inches of water. Like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be driving down this mile stretch of road that is currently entirely submerged. I'm going to leave that.
I was supposed to work overtime today because they actually closed the actual physical call center because there does come a point where they're like, all right, we don't actually expect you to go out in this. And I was supposed to, I'm one of the few, well, not few, it's more now, but I've been wanting to work from home and they wanted me to work, and I said, okay, so I booted up all my stuff, and come 9 a.m., what happens? My internet drops because there's snow on the line.
Oh, yeah.
I was internet free for about 6 hours today. It was the worst thing.
Rip.
I was just sitting there reading books.
Reading books? Oh god, that sounds horrible.
Reading books and texting boys. Like, I was just like, I am without internet. How about you? Oh, your internet's up? Fuck you down.
Bye.
Okay. It's already not PG-13 anymore, so, and you're allowed to say the F word once in PG-13.
Ah, fuck.
Honestly, I wish I could just like take all that snow off all your hands because it is just humid as hell here, and I'm sweating, and it's not even hot.
Here?
And it's ridiculous.
Strya.
You don't want to be adding more wet stuff to a humid atmosphere, though, do you? I mean,
true.
it's snow, you just get even worse.
You'll get snow to Australia, and it'll just
hair
flash
it'll
into steam.
Curl up.
Yeah, Dad, I've actually had to turn my laptop upside down to talk to you all.
This is confirmed.
Wow.
This is canon.
I am okay with this information.
If it snows in Australia, all the scorpions get camouflaged, and now you're fucked.
No. You bring the snow to Australia, it all flashes into steam, and everything becomes like a giant sauna. That's how it works. This is
It boils it all.
true science facts.
Yes.
Oh dear. So yeah, oh god, I remember seeing a video of it. It was like a guy who was 24 or something like that, and it was his first time ever seeing snow, and it was like a foot of snow, and it was just the most goddamn amazing video I've seen, because he like broke down and cried and just lay on the ground, just face down into snow crying. Like, wow, okay. Because this dude, he lived most of his life in like South Africa or something like that, and he's just come to America, and everything's covered in snow. He's just crying into the grass. Aww.
Is it because he bought all summer clothes?
No, if you want to see something really amazing, is find someone who has never seen the sea and take them to it.
Oh, I can
freaks
imagine.
People the fuck out, but not in the way that you'd think. They just sort of stand there staring at it, and they just.
I can imagine. Like I've spent a lot of my childhood in like Whitby and Scarborough and stuff like that, but I can imagine why the sea would freak some people out.
Yeah, quite a few years ago, we had a friend over from Zimbabwe, and he had never seen the sea, ever. So we took him to Blackpool. The best idea. And he just sort of stood on the beach for an hour, staring straight out to sea, and just didn't say anything, didn't do anything. He just stood there.
Yeah. I mean, in a way.
When you stare into the abyss stares into you.
And the abyss is very polite as it happens. He's a very nice gentleman.
Yeah.
The abyss is not that bad.
As you stare into the abyss releases 3 more chocolates about the color of your eyes, like so.
The abyss releases adorable gifts. Is what happens when you stare at the abyss.
Well,
It's like, here, have a rare dash gift, and I'm like, oh.
Well, when you stare into the
One thing
abyss,
to
the
have,
abyss tries to get you into their stomach.
Oh,
Speaking of
geez.
shipping,
What?
I am shocked. I am shocked at you because I am very surprised that there is one story you haven't asked about, and it's the story you inspired.
The story I inspired. Which one's that? God.
What's the sound of two minds dating?
Oh God. I completely forgot about that one.
That was your fault.
So I missed this story. How was Plum involved in this? Because it involves shipping, you understand.
Yes, it's a Fluttermac, and what happened was, like, I don't know, like 2.5 years ago, I guess I did an AMA when I hit like 300 followers or something, and Plum was in it, and he was like, we were doing like a Q&A session, and one of his questions was, why Fluttermac? Or no, that was one of Lord Sunder's questions. Why Fluttermac? And I sort of explained why I like the ship, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Plum was like, what's the sound of two minds dating? And I was like, you're a smartass. And then I just sort of ignored it for a while, and then I remembered it. I remembered he had said that recently. So I sat down and I banged out a story based on it.
Yeah.
And people liked it. I was like,
yeah.
Cool.
People liked it. This is fact.
I'm always shocked when people like my stuff. They're like, oh, that's really good. I'm like, yeah. You got some low standards, but I'll take it.
It's kind of funny when someone says something and then you just, what they said, you turn it into something thousands of words long.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Like somebody said,
mark
like
of
the
a
whole
designer
Iron
that
Princess.
you can do something like that.
Well, Iron Princess was because when the whole like Luna speaking archaic speak was still like a thing that people made a big deal out of, and then also the whole lift bro thing came about, and then somebody said doth thou even hoist rather than, and I just
doth thou even
vomited out 10,000 words based on that.
Doth thou even hoist 10,000 words edition?
Yeah,
okay.
Seriously, if you just say something around me, I will probably eventually turn it into a story.
Beautiful. So 2.5 years from now, we're going to expect some sort of story about Plum, an Australian being strapped to the ceiling with an upside-down laptop. What else have we got?
It makes sense because it's on the other side of the world.
It's going to be
true.
It's going to be Applejack on the beach. And
Applejack staring out on the beach, yeah.
A frozen beach.
Dude, I would read that. Yeah, she's standing out on the beach. It's 3 feet of snow. She's like 3'5" inches tall. She's just staring into a wall of snow through the snow at the sea.
She's almost taller than me.
What if the sea is frozen? What if the whole sea is frozen?
Whoa!
She's trying to stare out at the sea, but she can't see it because of all the snow. That's what it is.
Ice.
She's just staring at the snow like, oh.
It's not that I don't want to go outside. It's that I can't because the snow will swallow me.
Woohoo! Existential crises.
I'm 5 feet tall, 3 feet tall, and
I want to just jump back to that thing about seeing things for the first time. I read a story a while ago. It was this like 8 or 9 year old girl in the Australian outback had never seen rain ever. I mean, not seeing snow or not seeing the ocean, you can sort of understand based on geography, but this girl had not even seen rain.
Well, I mean, you can kind of understand that considering outback. Like,
yeah,
this is
that
like
particular area was just like it had been bone dry for years.
Like
not
this is the place.
Of rain in all that time.
Yeah, this is the place where they hold like a river regatta, like a boat race where all the boats have wheels because the river is dry 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Then why do you call it a river?
Because it was a river.
Let me tell you something about Darwin, right? They have an annual beer can regatta.
Yeah.
Beer can regatta.
Out of beer cans, and then you race them on the beach.
I can imagine.
That sounds
plenty of building materials then.
Yes.
Yeah, well, after you drink a beer, anything's possible.
This is true. Iron brew gets you through. So, but yeah, I remember being in Sydney about, I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago now, for the Sydney Harbour boat race. That was pretty impressive.
Oh,
Not
the
an
Sydney
awful.
Hobart boat race?
Yeah. I was there for the start of it, and my dad got given a T-shirt by Channel 8 News for some reason. So, but that was an absolutely impressive display of basically a lot of seemingly drunken people almost crashing into each other. Like, about half of the people left with a dent.
Oh, that happens, hey, because there's so many yachts in such a close proximity, and the wind there is just unpredictable at the best of times. And I mean, a couple of yachts, like there are many yachts every year that don't actually make it to Hobart, let alone just a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it was like watching a stampede, except with like yachts. It was really weird and kind of entertaining. So
that's the easy part. The hard part's when you're going through the Bass Strait. That's wild and unpredictable weather out there. It's so dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine. So yeah, that's how I spent one day, just sort of watching boats crash into each other for amusement. We got a T-shirt out of it. So yeah, cool. Oh dear.
I seem to have acquired a cat.
Oh, is it Bonbon?
It's Bonbon.
How's Bonbon doing?
Oh, your cat,
Bonbon's okay.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh, she wants to get down. Okay.
Does she not want to have a look? Does she not want to say hello?
She doesn't want to say hello, Bonbon. No?
Aww.
Hey, Bonbon.
The kitty.
Aww. She's being very brave.
She is.
I wonder if I can find my cat. Yeah, he's probably outside tramping.
One of mine is like right over there, and another of mine is probably being lazy, but she's really comes when I call her. Minnie!
I'm surprised they've not just sort of like taken over the fireplace and are just a pile of cats in front of it. Because that's what every cat I've ever seen does, and my dogs. So I don't know.
Well, while I do not have cats of my own, I have occasionally cat sat. For my friend's cats, and he has two of them. One of them, sweetest thing ever. You know, like she'll be a little weirded out for like half a day of getting used to me, but then she'll just be sitting on my lap, purring, super affectionate. The other one, her name is Amber. She will. It'll be dinner time. I'll go open up the bag of cat food. I'll call her name, try to get her attention. She won't come. I will scoop out some food. She will come up, go down to the bowl, look up at me, hiss at me. I will try to approach. She will hiss further and like paw at me as I approach with food for her. I will finally pour the food. She'll look down at the food. She'll look at me one more time, hiss at me, and then start eating food. It's like, you're welcome, I guess.
We have now added a cat to the video. Going to skyrocket now. Fantastic. That is a very docile cat. He's just sort of, yeah, okay, this is my life.
She's the opposite of docile. She's just a surprisingly docile for her. I think she's just interested in all the pictures.
Aww.
Wow, my cat looks exactly like yours, except he's fatter.
She's like a tortoiseshell, and she's a kitten, so it's all still coming in, sort of.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what her name's Abacus, and she is like a little bitch, and
God, back in the old house before we moved away a few years ago, while we still had the dogs down here rather than up in Scotland, there are a few cats around the neighbourhood, and naturally my dogs love that because they're cats, they run away, you can chase them, it's fantastic. There was one cat. I don't know what his name is. We just called him that ginger bastard. Somewhat ironically, of course. And he never ran from anything. So the first time our eldest dog, Nipper, tried to chase this cat, he just ran up to the cat. The cat was just there like, no, no, I'm not going. So my dog just sort of ran into him, stopped about an inch in front of this cat, and was just staring at this wall of ginger tabby cat, fucking pissed off asshole monster cat, and this cat is just staring, and he's just like, doosh, wham, once across the nose, my Nipper, he runs away, back across the road, hides behind me, and then for the rest of his life has pretended this one single cat does not exist. Like, he'll be walking down the road, and he'll be looking at all the cats, and he'll see that cat, and he'll just turn his head and go, hmm. It's an amazing feat that he can bend his neck around that far just to avoid looking at this ginger cat, and the ginger cat's just like, yeah, no. It's beautiful, that ginger bastard.
Oh, no, don't. That's my drink.
A friend of mine has a dog called Shithead.
Arch, don't get your cat drunk. I think that's illegal.
Is it illegal? What law is there against getting your cat drunk? I want this cited.
There isn't a law.
There isn't a law. Then get on that.
Is it considered animal cruelty or not?
It is actually, because a very small amount of alcohol can kill a cat. Mine keep trying to get it.
It's like my dogs. They love chocolate. Chocolate's literally poison for dogs.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't understand.
Cats too.
It doesn't help that they make chocolate flavored dog treats. They make chocolate flavored to encourage dogs to eat chocolate. Why?
You can give dogs like tiny little bits of chocolate. I think people blow the toxicity level way out of proportion.
No. A small amount of chocolate in a small dog will kill them. It is
small
free.
dog.
I would like to introduce. I would like to introduce you to my little scruffy little dog named Willie. He's like.
Is he a Scotty Terrier? Is he a Scotty Terrier?
He is a Dachshund Maltese mix.
Ah.
But he has eaten pure chocolate before. He has gotten to it, and he is perfectly okay.
Well, there's always the one, isn't there?
There is always the one.
Yeah, always the annoying one.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I was going to own a dog, it'd be something like a German Shepherd.
Well, they require a lot of effort. Like, the thing about small dogs is that they're just as energetic and playful, and they'll fall asleep in your lap just as much. But they won't absolutely crush you when they want to hug. Which, a German Shepherd can do. If a German Shepherd decides he wants to sit on your lap and you are not prepared, it can be an experience. And second of all, if your dog wants to go somewhere with a small dog, you can be the guy saying no. If you've got too big of a dog, the dog doesn't take no for an answer. You're going over there.
You can say no all you want. It won't matter.
It's just you shouting no after them as they reach the end of the street and turn the corner. So.
Okay. I've looked this up now.
You've looked this up.
Okay. The amount of milk chocolate that is required to kill a dog is 1 ounce per pound of body weight. So if you have a 10-pound dog, it would take approximately 2 to 3 candy bars.
See,
to be enough
that's what I thought.
So literally 5 seconds with my dog being unsupervised. That's all it takes for them to get.
They would have to have 2 to 3 unwrapped. Well,
they would.
No, they would eat the wrappers.
You underestimate my dogs.
You've obviously never had a dog before, Pop. They eat everything.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And remember, that's just to die. That is not the level of chocolate they need to ingest in order to be horribly sick for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm going to avoid any amount of chocolate with my dogs, thanks very much. The carpet can't take it.
Well, any real chocolate. We'll obviously give them the chocolate-flavored treats.
Of course, to encourage them to eat more chocolate in the future.
Yes.
Fantastic. Oh, dearie me. How's your dog been, Dancer?
Sorry?
How's your puppy been?
She's doing good. She's currently created because she, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, but, because I have one on my Facebook because I'm lame. But I put up from earlier this afternoon when it wasn't like 3 Venus now, when I took my dog out. And I took her out in the morning, it wasn't that bad. I took her out in the afternoon, I took a video because she was literally swimming through the fucking snow to try to get to this leaf that somehow was blowing on top of the snow. It was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. But she is currently, she's currently created because she ate and I didn't really want her, because she will take the bath sometimes. So I decided, she should probably be created for I was just like ruby face right here and like right here, and she'd be like. So, and then she would take the bath and the cat would be yowling, and it would just be a mess. I have a house full of them.
Oh dear. This is true. This is true.
Some
Oh, dear.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, better than people. I can guarantee that
Way
much.
better than people. I mean, my cat is, my asshole cat. Okay, I have a sweet cat named an asshole cat. You guys saw the asshole cat.
Mm-hmm.
The asshole cat is better than me, Fun.
Yeah. Oh dear. I remember watching the video of your dog reacting to snow for the first time, the way it sort of like jumps around in the snow.
Yeah,
Also,
that's what I'm talking about.
all small dogs do that because they can't see above the snow, but it also happens in yeah, it also happens in simply long grass. So we used to take our dogs into a field with long grass, let them off the leash, and just watch basically a floating dog head pop up every like 3 seconds, just off in the distance. Like, doo, doo, doo. Oh my god, it's the most amazing thing. Because then they'll catch sight of something that they want to chase, like a squirrel or something like that, and then because they don't want to give themselves away, they'll try to run for the squirrel or cat or whatever through the grass without jumping. So then they go in the wrong direction and then spend another 10 seconds hopping in place to try and see where they've gone. It's Also, I've got a request to say the word chocolate more, so I don't know what that's about.
I think I'm going to take this opportunity to depart.
And all this talking about chocolate's made him even hungrier.
Yeah.
Are you leaving?
All this talk about dogs has made him even hungrier. So.
Yeah. It's good seeing you again, Mitty.
Aye. It's been a while since BronyCon, so.
Yeah. I don't enjoy the streams again.
Yeah. Next BronyCon should be good.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I might be able to make it. Maybe.
Ooh.
That'd be nice if you did.
Yeah. It's always nice to get more people at BronyCon. Because
go hang out at Dempsey and like get drunk again and then play Cards Against Humanity again.
Oh yeah. Cards Against Humanity is the best, guys.
I think was Arconics at that?
Yeah. How much was that the cards, weren't you? Yeah.
I don't know, I was being shy. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For
I
sure.
don't remember much about it. For a variety of reasons.
That is the way it should be, because, you shouldn't remember too much of what goes on in Cards Against Humanity.
No.
It's better if you don't.
I think most of us spent the whole weekend just drunk. I know I did.
Oh, yeah. That's
I have to spend the night alone with C Squared. I'm just going to, chug this entire box. And then we'll talk about Jesus for
Oh dear.
It's funny because I'm Christian.
It's funny because it's true.
I'm gonna have to try to find someone to bump me.
Mm-hmm.
I like bumping with C Squared. I've done it every year, and he's actually a really good, respectful, probably not going to.
Except for it's good and respectful, except for the time when him and someone else stole my bed and Wonder D's bed and ended up kicking us out of our hotel room on the last day because they fell asleep in our bed, so we had to go bunk with Cap and Chrysalid on the other side of town. So we had to leave at 1 o'clock in the morning, walk across Baltimore at night. So that was an experience.
That's 2014.
Oh boy, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Was that in 2013? Because he was funky with me that year, and he was with me.
No. It was BronyCon 15, this last year. Yeah.
Really? Did he?
I had to sleep on the floor the last night of that.
Yeah. I don't remember a lot.
We all took it in turns to sleep in beds and sleep on the floor and stuff. I remember waking up one morning to find I woke up to the shutter noise of Wonder D's phone as he took pictures of me sleeping.
Yes, I got. And he sent me one of those pictures. He texted me one. He was like, "Here's Tom sleeping," and I was like,
"See, Wonder D told me he didn't send anyone the picture."
Like a fool, you believed him.
Oh, look out.
Okay.
Plum, it's me. I mean, of course he sent it to me.
True enough.
I'm kind of envious of all you guys, because you're all close-ish together and you have each other's...
No, I'm like 4,000 miles.
No, I don't mean you. I know you're away from everyone.
Well, no, I'm close to Arch.
Near me. I've got Dragon, and that's it.
Yeah, you've got Dragon. I'm close to Arch. I'm about, 40 minutes drive from Arch, I think?
Yeah, about
an hour-ish. Yeah, something like that. And Pear's probably about a quarter of an hour if I can actually figure out which one of the dozens of villages he lives in.
I think it just migrates between them.
Yeah, it's on the rotation. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Under
think
is like a 10
I
a
just meant,
10-hour drive northwest from me.
I
Like
think I just meant
United States
relative
is
to me, because
Relative,
like,
relative to Australia, I think we're all practically neighbours.
Ah,
yeah,
relative.
that's what I mean. But like, yeah, I pretty much lived here mostly by myself, and I had my kids and my family, and that's about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you also have who was it? Well, Mr.
Mr.
Numbers. You
Numbers.
now have, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you manage to meet up at the cafe, the monkey place?
We have not gotten around to it. My kids have been too much work, and I haven't been able to get away.
No worries, no worries. We do want an update though, and ask
Yeah.
him to fucking update his radio play thing that he's planning to do, because he got people to audition for that like 3 months ago now. So I'm expecting an update numbers.
He was talking about that in the film fiction chat just earlier today, I think.
Oh,
He was talking-
really?
Yeah, I think he's got
Ooh.
some work done on it.
Ooh.
Thing. Oh, bon.
Oh, is she unplugging
Oh,
all your electrical stuff again?
No, she can't reach the wires at the minute.
Oh yeah, because she'd have to stand up for it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear about people talking in the FimFic chat all the time, and yet I've been on site for 2.5 years. I've never used it ever.
Yeah, don't bother. It's a complete cesspool.
I don't even know where the option is to go into it.
It's one of the options at the top. I've been in there a couple of times, and both times I've walked into someone yelling at someone else. I was like, okay, out with a go. Right, done.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, just walk in. Someone's accusing someone else of plagiarism. Like, oh, no, okay. I get it. I get enough of this shit as a fucking story approver. So.
But I thought that we learned in the recent drama from a certain author that it's absolutely absurd to accuse people of plagiarism on a fan fiction site.
Let's absolutely not go with there in the slightest. Let's get a 10-foot barge pole and push away the longer barge pole that we need to approach that subject. So we can't just have, please.
Yeah, that particular author restarted the spaghetti on paper tigers.
Of course it is.
There's
So
always
I'm feeling less than charitable. No, but I mean it was restarted 2 years later for no reason. I was like,
The ride never ends.
The ride never ends.
I'm
I'll tell you.
actually tempted to put a comment on Paper Tigers myself, just so that the last comment on Paper Tigers, the most recent one, is not related to that in any way.
Of course, right. I'm just gonna let you know, due to my I don't really make any moderator-related decisions on the site aside from like this story should be approved, this story should be denied.
Yeah.
But my proximity to like the people who have to deal with the amount of drama that goes on FimFic, like holy shit, FimFic is roughly 95% spaghetti. 4% stories.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Anything else. Oh my god, you would not believe, like, there's a guy who's going around, he's literally taking, like, pictures off, like, photo stock and stuff like that and saying, here's my brand new motorcycle, here's the panties that my girl roommate just threw at me. Like, those are both real examples. I'm not making either of those up, there are no exaggerations, and he's got, like, 500 and something followers?
What, just for posting random pictures of panties?
No, he writes stories, but he also claims he goes on holiday to Dubai to discuss important things, and on his profile he's got something where it's like, here's a house that I designed, and it's just a picture of a mansion from Los Angeles. I'm just, okay, I don't know. Okay, whatever. FimFic, I'm done. I'm out. I can deal with stories. I can't deal with the fucking people. So, oh my god. I will tell you, something that made me a bit sad, Dancer, was that when I became a story prover, because I've never really submitted a story, I realized that actually the fact that FimFic does have minimum grammar standards isn't just something that they can pull out of their ass to deny a story of its shit. There is actually a minimum quality of writing, and one of those things is you need to have legible grammar. And this kind of made me sad, because it made me realize we'd never see the likes of that brackets, rainbow dash, brackets, brackets.
oh my god! Brackets!
Brackets, Rainbow Dash, brackets,
That
brackets.
was the best thing. You had to read it aloud.
That
Awesome.
oh my god, that reading killed my voice. You have no
Brackets,
idea.
Rainbow Dash, brackets.
Brackets,
Hi,
Rainbow Dash.
Twilight.
You have no idea how harsh the word brackets is to shout
It is.
until you have to shout it 100 times because someone's replaced all their punctuation with open-ended brackets. So I just, Finfic, I love you, but stop. Just stop.
That was awesome. The fact that it passed moderation is what really kind of got me there.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
a published story. That was way before you were story person.
Oh, for sure. I don't like. I'm assuming that we just didn't have minimum standards of quality. Like,
No, we did. We did, but
did.
it wasn't written as a script. That was the problem. Remember, it wasn't like in a script format. It was.
oh yeah.
He was just putting brackets around every name. Even,
He put brackets around like speech and stuff like that. Like he replaced all his inverted commas with brackets, and he also had brackets around the name. So it's like bracket Rainbow Dash bracket bracket. You will stop there, Nightmare Moon brackets brackets. And like, oh god. So
See, I think of these stories, and I think of the lack of standards, and
why
I
would you
just think
do
of
that, Corinne?
yeah.
You're the
I'm not
worst
even
person.
sorry.
You're the worst person.
Mhm.
That's the Hangouts chat, though.
This is very true. Can confirm.
Mm.
But yes, so it's a bit sad that we'll never see genius like that again. But on the plus side, as a story approver, I can see every single piece of fiction ever published on FinFiction and ever not published on FinFiction. So I can see everyone's crappy little 500 words of Rainbow Dash making out with the toilet seat story that they've decided to write one afternoon while drunk and then abandoned it. And I can also see every single deleted story ever, which has made for some fantastic trips down memory lane.
Oh, I bet.
So many stories from like 2012, like Raw Havoc's Return of the Changelings.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Beautiful. That thing was a work of art. And I'm okay to talk about it. I'm okay to talk about that one because it got posted in a site blog. Wallah posted that story as a perfect example of how not to write a story. That went out to the entire site.
I missed that, but
Portron nuked the comments on that story 3 separate times.
I remember that, yeah.
That was an interesting afternoon. I don't even remember the comments being particularly bad. Like, I remember the commander was there posting the occasional Warhammer 40,000 dank May. But I don't know. Fond memories either way. Personally,
yeah, we had a lot of interesting happenings together. Take that how you will.
True enough. Right, have we actually had any questions from the public chat?
Oh,
No,
wow.
I should actually
Lots
go
of
and have a look.
questions.
Is Yamgoth asking a question, Arch? Because they don't appear to have.
I added them to the chat, but
Mhm.
it doesn't seem to have taken properly.
Yeah, it does that sometimes, or maybe Yamgoth's just AFK or something. Blue, I'm afraid I can't link you to the bracket story because I literally read it 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Or at least
Yeah,
3,
well.
either way. I don't know. Let's see.
Wasn't that one of the shirtless hot British men readings that I was doing
One of
a little
many.
while there where I had hot British
With
men?
myself and
Sorry.
Trundle.
Sorry, what was that again? Shirtless?
There were a lot of readings where myself and a guy from South England were both shirtless. So.
I need links of this.
We didn't save them.
Oh, calm down, Pav. Calm down. I can
You
see the
have to be
steam.
there, Pav.
They were just for me.
Yep.
Okie
Did you guys
dokie.
notice yet that I actually changed my shirt?
Oh dear. I was like someone.
My other one just got too sweaty already.
Oh
So I
dear.
wanted my second shirt.
So you're gonna need a third one in a minute because it's about to get super steamy.
Too funny
Oh.
already.
Of course, yeah.
Spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti, indeed, like the rest of FinFic. But yeah, like there was like some. I think it was you, CB, mentioning that you wanted to see a dancer on a stream, and I just remembered that there are so many like random streams around YouTube where it was like Dancer's birthday stream or Dee's birthday stream or Dee's live stream for something else, or I'd make a live stream, and it would be the three of us and a bunch of random fuckwits, and we'd all just be talking shit endlessly and doing crappy
for like
things.
3 hours. It was amazing. Or like my OkCupid streams where I would have.
Oh God, yeah.
I have a couple of those on this account that I'm using for this hangout. One from like 3 years ago, and then one from like I don't know.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Last year.
Have you ever vlogged many of your OkCupid adventures in?
No, I want to, but apparently I have to be super careful. I'm not allowed to show usernames or
yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
anything like that. So I would have to go through the trouble of blanking out the pictures.
So basically, it would require effort.
More or less, and like I can do like like a blue dot, a pink dot, whatever. But it's very difficult for me to do that for reasons that you understand.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind, so it's
Oh dear.
roses are gray, violets are gray. I'm colorblind. Get the fuck out of my face.
Roses are white, violets are white, everything's white. Fucking hell! There's so much snow. Please help. Send help.
Basically,
please.
like I drew a picture. I drew some pictures today. If you wanted to see, because I had no internet for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I drew some pictures. This is my backyard.
Oh.
Okay.
Here's my car. Here's Broad and Maloney right now.
I like the shading on that one.
Yeah.
Do you we could link to your DeviantArt in the.
I actually do draw ponies, but
this is true.
Yeah,
Dancer does in fact art, and I believe you've arted me at one point.
I did art you. I arted you terribly while I was drunk one time, and I was shocked that you added it to your favorites. I was like, this is such a bad picture, and then you were like, fake. I was like, I hate you. Because now I can't delete it. Now I can't delete it.
Just a blank piece of paper, call it Snow Day, and then get it hung up in a museum under abstract art.
Yeah.
I could take this this is Abacus's adoption thing from Cattails, which is a rescue here in Warminster, and it's just the back of that. But I could probably be like, here is my painting of the blizzard of 2016, Winter Storm Jonas, and somebody would be like, here, have $10,000.
It's a polar bear. Yeah, it's a polar bear on a snowfield in a very bright summer's day.
That's my dog.
Isn't it like a really this is a really, really, really close-up picture of my white dog. Isn't there a really famous piece of modern art that is literally like, it's a huge canvas and the canvas is just solid red except for like a single black line in the middle, and it's
I know what you're talking about, and yes,
it's actually supposed to be something about dead soldiers, I think. It's got some apparently
soldiers of war or something, yeah.
Something like that. It's got some big deep significance, and I know Plu's going to send me angry messages on Skype explaining how I'm such a pleb in roughly, I think, 30 seconds, judging by the delay on the stream.
Messages too.
Yeah.
Plu is sending you messages telling you to take your shirt off.
Yeah, this is true. Plu is sending me those messages.
Come on, take your shirt off.
Pav's comment is +1. Yep, okay. Okay.
I haven't seen your nipples in ages, Plum. Come on. Free the nipple!
Neither have I.
Don't pull out of your chair. Don't pull out of your chair. The police are not calling. There's no reason to fall out of your chair.
There's no thunder monster here. Oh dear. Plu wasn't listening. God damn it, Plu. You had a chance to be angry at me about modern art. Gugh. You're being such shit. Why, Plu? Oh dear.
I've tried every search combination I could think of to try and figure out what this picture is, and I can't find it. Is it in the Tate or something?
This what, sorry?
Is it in the Tate Modern or something?
I'm sure it's in somewhere in America.
Oh, well that's why I can't find it. They speak a different art language over there.
I'm gonna find this. Let's have a look. Is this it? No, it's not. No, it's not.
Hang on, I think I found something.
Delayed reaction from Plu.
Delayed reaction from Plu.
Oh, Montreal!
Yeah, it's not Mondrian, but I found Mondrian.
Oh.
Canvas painted blue with a white line sells for 44 million.
Oh, it's blue. You said it was red.
Well, I think there was a red one. Blue, tell me what the name of the red painting with the black line is. That's like war or something. I can't remember what it is.
Newman.
I'm gonna Google image search because I want to find this because this is gonna annoy me for a week. Oh Jesus. Because now that I've Googled this, all I'm finding are like really crappy like DeviantArt photoshops of what their apartment would look like if they had infinite money, and there's just sort of like crappy art of trees.
I think I may have found it.
Have you found it?
It's hard to tell.
Ooh.
It's a Newman. I'm not very good with Newman.
Oh
They're
no.
all just, canvases painted one colour with a line on it.
This is true. This is true. That is the entire painting. Yeah. Ooh. Yes. I think. Yes, it is a Newman painting. I do recognize this. He's the one who did the blue painting with the white line. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so Yamgoth was actually sharing a story about a dog.
Oh, right. What's the story?
Well, the story was, it's actually kind of sad.
Oh.
They had a family dog that loved cake, and one year it just, they fed it.
MoMA.
Hang on, let's see what's this. Got into the family's birthday cake, and it would get into chocolate no matter what they did, but it had no ill effects at the time, so they said just fuck it and gave the dog a birthday cake every year on its birthday. Then it grew some sort of fatty growth on its chest.
Oh dear.
And then died.
Oh dear. I did find the painting. It's called something in Latin. It translates to man heroic and sublime.
Heroicus sublimis.
Yes, Vir Heroicus Sublimis. And it's literally a red canvas with a white line and a black line. So I almost got it. So, that's modern art, and I'm not going to talk about that anymore because Pooh will be very angry at me. So, backing off from that.
You need to learn the language, Plum, that's what it is.
I need to learn the language.
The whole language surrounding this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember when we went to God, what's the London Gallery or whatever it is down in London, the art museum, and there were two. There were two big displays on. One of them was modern art, and the other one was World War II historical photos, including really rare ones that were barely ever talked about, like from the bombing positions of like B-17s and shit like that. And the B-17 photo war gallery was shut for the weekend. As my life's ambitions just destroyed in an instant. Rip. Tate Modern, that's the one. Yeah. I didn't even bother to learn the name of the museum, so. Oop, Skirts has commented in the thread. What doth life is this question, is it? Let me guess.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Fuck! Skirts is right.
Yeah. As he often is.
I guess I completely got those two mixed up.
Well, there's disaster movies about the end of the world that are entirely and utterly impossible.
Yeah. They feature 2012 was it San Francisco that just sort of
it got sucked up in a whole bunch of whirlwinds. Tornadoes.
Oh yeah, and there was like Los Angeles got swallowed by an earthquake, and the rest of the world got flooded. So technically, 2012 and The Day After Tomorrow are both about New York getting flooded. So I was kind of right. So yeah, close enough.
It got flooded and then frozen and then probably and exploded.
I had a great time at the Modern Art Museum because I was laughing the whole while. So yeah. So yeah, apparently I'm really shit at movies to the point where I can't even remember the name of The Day After Tomorrow. Today I learned.
You don't even remember a Newman.
Yeah, I'm also very shit at modern art. I'm just shit in general, to be
Can't argue that.
Can't argue with that.
I'll bet you've at least seen Avengers, right?
Oh yeah.
I bet everyone in the whole world except for me has seen Avengers.
Oh.
Dude, American's pretty good. I tell you, I finally sat down and watched Band of Brothers last week. It's like that thing came out like 2001, so I'm only 15 years behind the curve this time. It's slightly better than me finally sitting down and watching what is it, Akira and stuff like that.
Akira.
And Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that. So Band of Brothers was top. I probably enjoyed that.
Oh.
Have you seen it, Arch?
What, Band of Brothers?
Yeah,
I've seen most of it.
You've seen most of it.
Yeah, I saw the important bits.
Fair enough. The thing I found most amazing about Band of Brothers was like especially in a couple of the early episodes where there's a scene where they're taking a German artillery position and it's a dozen American soldiers taking on 40 Nazis and the Nazis have artillery and they're storming a position and it's all very America being awesome, and you just sort of your brain kind of tunes out a bit because it's a movie about, or feels like a movie about American soldiers being badass and being American, and then at the end of the episode it's like the attack on the fortified position undertaken by Lieutenant Winters and his men went down in history as a textbook example of this type of formation and is still taught in military schools today. I'm like, oh, so that happened. Oh, okay. So I'm suddenly a bit more interested in this sort of thing, like, they really did do that sort of thing. Interesting. And then you have all the stuff, like, you get that later on, where it's like there's a lot of scenes later on where there are, a guy crawling away from a burning Sherman tank or whatever, and that's, it seems a bit daft, but, apparently it really happened, and they're talking to the people who it happened to, and they're recounting all this stuff, and it's really interesting. But then that kind of brings an extra weight to all the shit, like the time, like the time when I think his name is Buck, is in a foxhole in the forest in Belgium, and he's literally like 3 feet away from 2 people crawling to cover when they get hit by an artillery shell.
Ouch.
And stuff like that. And they both survived. They both survived only losing a leg, which is quite frankly amazing, considering one of them had already lost that leg. But it just brings home that extra, that extra kick to the gut that makes you feel like, shit. I mean, all the really badass storming of positions was real, but so was all this. So, it's I know I'm 15 years behind the curve. I wholeheartedly recommend Band of Brothers. That was pretty tough. And yeah, apparently Comet Bursts wants us to talk about The Great Escape, the movie.
Yeah.
I can see. Really, I can.
Steve McQueen just being a badass himself.
Yeah, well, I mean,
of course, he's American.
Yeah, it's true enough. Call me skeptical, but I don't think he actually like ramped a motorbike out of what's it? Oh God, was it? I watched Chicken Run before I watched The Great Escape, so I didn't get the reference that
Oh
was.
my goodness, Plum! It's been on TV every Christmas.
No, but I watched Chicken Run when I was a wee little babby Plum, right? Chicken Run was a fucking awesome movie.
I love Chicken Run.
Chicken Run was top. So I watched that before I would watch The Great Escape. Unless you think like an 8-year-old kid should be watching The Great Escape.
Hang on.
When did Chicken Run come out? There's a while.
Arch World.
Chicken Run was also 2001.
2000. It came out the same. No, it came out slightly before Band of Brothers. So yeah, 2000. So I was 7 when that came out. How does that make you feel, Arch? Beautiful.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
It's actually empty.
You beat yourself to it. Cheers, Arch. Yeah, The Great Escape is definitely an enjoyable experience if you're into that sort of thing. I'm just a huge fucking World War II like military sort of nut job, so a lot of the stuff from that period is absolutely fascinating to me. Like literally about 10 minutes before the stream goes up, I linked Arch to like a working Lego motorized model of Panzerkampfwagen 7 mouse, which never actually existed, but that properly, but they found
might as well
blueprints.
have.
They might as well have, considering how much people on the internet love this thing. So, yeah. Oh, Christ. So, what's been going on in the public chat? We do need to bring this to a close sometime soon. We've got about, I think, another 10-15 minutes to go.
Oh,
in that time, do we want to pester Dancer more about her stories?
Yes.
Let's do that then, Dancer.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
please set a
mentioned...
deadline for your doppelgangers, please.
Let's not go that way. Let's ask instead, because you mentioned the 2 stories that you're most proud of, the incomplete one and the complete one. What was the most fun to write? Not necessarily the best one that you came out with, but the most fun that you had during the writing process.
Most fun during the writing process is probably going to be You're Going to Love Me, which is classic, but
You're Going to Love Me.
The reason why it was so much fun was because you know, as you know, Plum, I do suffer from daily migraines. I take some pretty heavy medications for that and also my anxiety. And I had taken so much of both that night, and Dragon 01, who wrote Live by the Street, he was actually over at my house because he was like, and I was extremely high on this medication so that I wouldn't be in pain, and I just sat down and I banged out a classic about Flutterback. And it was like what I can remember of the evening was a lot of fun. Because it was just a lot of laughter and a lot of Dragon just going like, what are you doing? Why do I have to pre-read this? Like, why are you doing this to me, Dancer?
I do remember getting Facebook messages from you the day after. I remember getting Facebook messages from you while you were writing it, and you just going, and then the day after, you sent me messages going, wait, what?
I reread it the next day, and I was like, what did I even write here? And then I was like,
you got featured from something that you didn't remember writing.
I was like, why? Because Dragon woke up the next day, he's like, Dancer, get up. I was like, what? He's like, you're featured. So I picked up my phone, because I get, you know, internet on my phone, and I looked up, I was like, what did I write? So then I went back and I read it, and I was like, what the fuck did I write? Like, it was that was fun. Writing Iron Princess competition was a lot of fun too, because it was just like a little, you know, basically like in my mind it was a throwaway story that I used a lot of effort in. So I just had a ton of fun writing, and because a lot of the stuff I write is sad fic, which actually Super Trampoline made a little SpongeBob macro that I have on my page now that says you like sad fic, didn't you?
This is true.
So a lot of times when I write my fics, I'm not like in a state of mind at all. So like the few fics I've written where I've been like in a happier, silly state of mind. It's a lot of fun. It's stress relief.
It's true that while you have written a fair few sad stories, you have also written some completely bizarre ones. Like aforementioned, Luna happens to go on Adult Friend Finder, so
by accident, she was just looking for friends.
Of course,
so.
Of course.
And she found a long list of
Does that have anything to do with Rainbow Love Celestia uses an online dating service?
Yes,
it does.
It is. I wrote it with his blessing, and the chapters are essentially parallel with his. So her interactions with Celestia are generally after a date with Celestia has gone on, and my story kind of reflects, you know, where they would be at. Because
Jesus Christ.
Or suggestion. So when it goes badly, Celestia's mad at Luna, and I have Celestia take it out and a little bit more.
Dancer, I completely forgot that you wrote the story Twilight Sparkle Eats Peaches.
Yes, I did!
God damn you.
I was so shocked. It had been like, I gave it a couple days. I did. After the whole Peaches thing started, I gave it a couple days. I was like, somebody's going to write a classic fic about this, and then nobody did. So you
were disappointed.
I was so disappointed in you, FinFic. Come on. Like, 80% of the site is porn. Get it together.
It's true. Well, it kind of depends on the day. Like, on an average day, 80% of the site is porn. On Christmas and Christmas Eve and Boxing Day, literally, like, I could probably pull up stats for this, but literally 80% of the stories that got submitted on the few days around Christmas were Sunset Shimmer, in the Equestria Girls universe,
Yeah.
it like introduces Twilight Sparkle to Christmas. Literally 80% of stories that got submitted were that. And
How was that to just read over and over and over and over and over?
maddening.
But remember,
which is why I made Meester do it. So
there is no such thing as plagiarism on a fanfiction site.
fuck you.
Not at all.
But yeah, so like, thankfully I was in Scotland at the time, and I only had phone internet, so I couldn't work on the queue.
Oh darn!
No.
Shucks! How horrible. That said, I did have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning on Boxing Day to drive down to England to arrive 10 minutes before my shift was due to start the day after Christmas.
Oh, brutal.
I worked Christmas Eve and Boxing Day and spent Christmas Day itself up in Scotland. So I spent a fair amount of time travelling right about then. So, you know, even if I had the ability to go on the queue, I think it was just like, no. Best for my sanity if I don't. Oh, Christ. And with that, I think I'm going to have to call the stream to an end. Dan said it was an absolute pleasure being on the stream, even if none of these British people took their tops off at any point.
No,
in
what's
the
up with
stream.
that?
Absolutely disgraceful. We'll have to fix that at some point soon.
The chat was going absolutely ballistic at the lack of shirtlessness.
Shirtless or riot, Twitch has in fact spoken.
Yeah.